First at 4, a coronavirus outbreak at this Michigan brew pub has Detroit's mayor sounding the alarm and launching a safety crackdown. We'll tell you what it means. We have the story of a fire rescue in Macomb County. One witness describes what he saw as first responders saved lives. Sometimes summer in Michigan feels pretty good. Today is one of those days. So how long will it last? Your weather and news, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are tracking another bump in the cases of coronavirus here in Michigan. You'll see the numbers in a moment, but first, Detroit's mayor launching a crackdown on bars and restaurants. Harper's Restaurant and Brew Pub over in East Lansing has become the focus of a COVID outbreak, and it is growing. 43 people have now tested positive after visiting the bar between June 12th and the 20th. And that number has more than doubled since we first told you about it. Anyone who went there during that time frame has been asked to self-quarantine. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom to tell us how Detroit's mayor is trying to prevent that from happening here. Good afternoon, Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you as well. This was the mayor's first news conference of the week, and he made it clear that he will do everything possible to make sure Detroit won't see a surge like other cities and states are seeing right now. Mayor Duggan says there have been reports of restaurants that are not following the governor's restrictions. Health department workers and police will be visiting businesses this weekend, telling them workers must wear masks. Also, restaurants can only serve 50% of their capacity. The city wants to help businesses comply, but they will be put on notice. If there are future violations, the city will go to court to get an order to close down those businesses. The mayor says the story of Harper's Bar and Brew Pub shows how close we are to serious trouble.
You could have 2 or 3 establishments spark a new burst of COVID in this community, and we can't have that happen. What's going to happen is just as what's happened in Jacksonville and a number of other places. The governor is going to step back in and shut everybody else back down again.
Yeah. And if you see a restaurant that seems too crowded or the employees are not wearing masks, it's probably a good idea not to go in. Karen, we'll talk a lot more about this when you join us on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Now, let's get to those numbers. The state is reporting 353 new cases. That was just in the past 24 hours. That is up about 10% from the day before. Those are the biggest numbers that we have seen in the month of June. 18 additional deaths have been reported, and the state is also reporting a slight uptick in hospitalizations. That kind of data is probably part of the reason Governor Whitmer pushed the pause button on moving the state to phase 5 of reopening. The national economy still feeling the impact of the crisis, with 1.48 million people filing for unemployment last week. Now, Michigan gym owners are facing a legal setback. A court gave them a green light to reopen today, but then Governor Whitmer appealed, and the 6th, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, sided with her. So that means indoor gyms should not be open, although we do know some have been skirting the rules. We will have continuing coverage at 5 and 6 dealing with the impact on the industry and why some gym owners are ready to keep breaking those rules. Breaking news from Lansing as a judge orders Enbridge to shut down its Line 5 oil pipeline. The judge granting Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel's request for a temporary restraining order. Nessel filed the order after Enbridge resumed service on one leg of that pipeline after shutting down the other leg because of damage to an anchor support. The judge also ordered Enbridge to share more information about that damage with the state. First responders rescued 2 families from an early morning fire in Macomb County. It happened in New Haven at the Pinewood Apartments. The sheriff's office tells us deputies ran into the apartment building after seeing smoke. First, they found a 32-year-old father and his 3 children and then got them out. Then deputies used a ladder to rescue a 33-year-old mom and her 2 kids who were fast asleep on the 2nd floor. Witness says it looks like the fire may have started on the stove.
From what I seen when they were rescuing people, I seen them throw out a pan that was on fire. So from what I seen, it looks like somebody was cooking and fell asleep.
The mom and her kids were taken to the hospital to be treated for severe smoke inhalation. One deputy was also taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. The man and his 3 children were not hurt. Religious leaders from the Interfaith Coalition came together in Lansing to lay out a recommendation for police reform. They They want to put an end to qualified immunity that often allows police officers to avoid being held liable for violations of constitutional rights. The plan calls for officers' misconduct history must be made available to the public, and departments' funding should be taken away or redirected for findings of use of excessive force. Coalition says it's time for a change.
We look forward to reforms that make sense, have teeth, holds everyone accountable, has repercussions and consequences, are long-standing in the preservation of safety and the security of our community.
Meantime, in our nation's capital, House Democrats are expected to vote today on their sweeping police reform package sometime today. We're following that closely. Let's take a look at the first forecast. Andrew Humphrey filling in for Ben Bailey today. So, Andrew, what do we need to know about tonight?
Well, Karen, good to see you this afternoon. As we go through our Thursday, we've still got beautiful sunshine out there. It remains warm. Look at temperatures, still in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. That's true in Mount Clemens, where it's 80 right on the nose, 82 at Metro Airport, 79 up in Lapeer. Sure, take the boat out. Why not? Waves are relatively calm. Just remember, make sure your boat is sanitized from stem to stern. Don't forget life jackets for everybody. 82 over at Metro Airport, a beautiful warm day and the humidity at tolerable levels. So your grilling forecast for the rest of the evening, temperatures go down a few more notches, but it remains warm with temperatures in the 70s, fair conditions through this evening, even overnight tonight. We'll talk about how cool it gets for tonight. There's still a chance of storms late tomorrow that could be severe. More on that as well coming up.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Next, we have a story that will warm your heart. A rare genetic disorder that affected a mother and both of her daughters has been vanquished by local surgeons. A marathon surgery game. Both women and also brought them new faces. Now, while I do need to warn you that some of those images might be startling, our Paula Tutman promises the smile on the other side is definitely worth waiting for.
The syndrome is rare, Cruzan syndrome, a genetic deviation that is devastating both physically and physiologically.
This disease, the scalp doesn't grow the way it's supposed to be. So the pressure to put on the brain is enormous because everything's so restricted, including the eye socket. So that caused a significant facial disharmony.
And while it strikes less than 2 people in 100,000 around the globe, for one family, it struck not once, not twice, but 3 times. A mother, Sherry, her daughter, Maria, now 18, and Mary, who is now 10, which makes this even more rare. Unfortunately, what is not rare enough is how some people see you and treat you when you look different.
It was pretty hard because sometimes children is troubling me at school and in my class because they're like trying to beat me up.
But thanks to the Beaumont Foundation and Beaumont Royal Oak, the family was able to travel from Jamaica last August to start the long and arduous road to surgery. It took a team of specialists led by Dr. Kankrit Shayaset, who reconfigured and rebuilt the skull, along with neurosurgeon Dr. Jeffrey Jacob and corneal transplant specialist Dr. Shirag Gupta, who was actually able to restore Sherry's sight. From their temporary home at the Ronald McDonald House in Detroit, the family has experienced so much. The children saw snow for the very first time.
All of us go down to the park, that's straight down, and then play snowball fight.
They experienced Detroit love in only a way this city can show it.
They're nice to us. They carry food, come give us. So it's a wonderful feeling.
And today, with their trip back to Jamaica just a few days away, they prepare to leave very different than how they came.
When I look in the glass, I was like, wow, that was not me. And then I give God thanks for everything that the doctor do for me.
With brand new faces, new prospects for quality of life, and the smile of a little girl that simply tells the whole story without words.
The world we're living are very divisive right now, so all I can pray is we work together to the better future.
Okay, let's hear it for that team of specialists. Listen, Karen, how about this? Each surgery took a team of 10 people. Some of them did double duty for the other surgery, so we're talking about nearly 30 people who had to do this. Now, they go back to Jamaica sometime in July. They will have to self-quarantine for at least 14 days when they get there. But imagine when they go back out into the community and show those beautiful new faces. Yay, Michigan.
Oh my gosh, I love how Detroit just wrapped their arms around that beautiful family.
Right?
Yes, what a great story. Remarkable. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead here, first at 4, another group of country music superstars changing its name. Some fans don't like it, but this group has been through huge controversy before. The change and a new song. Also, will the income tax deadline be pushed back again? There may be reason to hope for that, but we do have a reminder. The current deadline is approaching, so work on those taxes. Also, farmers working the overnight shift, why they're getting up at 2 a.m. to head into the fields. We've got more news ahead, first at 4.